Everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. I'm not going to lie to you, I've had a really bad last few days. To see the psychiatrist on Friday. I'd seen a psychiatric nurse the week before and I didn't think that I would have to go back to get an official diagnosis. I've been told that I've got BPD before, but I was looking kind of to get some help, so I needed them to officially do it. And when I went back on Friday to see the psychiatrist, she made me relive everything. She made me tell the whole story and my whole history, even though she would have already had that on her notes, because I've told countless people before. And honestly, in the appointment I started disassociating, and then after that I was disassociating all day, just lying on my bed staring at the wall. I woke up yesterday, which was Saturday, and I felt a little bit better at first, but I woke up really late because I've been so drained. Usually I get up about 8, but this was like 12, quarter to 1, something like that. And then I was really drained again. You know, my video was up late because I couldn't do it on Friday. I had to do it yesterday. I really struggled. I've just really been struggling with flashbacks and stuff. And it's hard. I mean, they told me that I had CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, officially. So that's something, I guess. And apparently more than what I thought of what's wrong with me is down to that. Like, my inability to feel like I fit in anywhere or form proper relationships or friendships, because I don't know what a real relationship is or what real love is, because I didn't form that in my development when I was younger because of what happened to me. So yeah, it's pretty messed up, but anyway, I'm here. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. The video today is going to be about how I've had a few questions asked to me about mental health and things, so I'm going to include them. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I cope with my different things, because I've got anxiety. I am apparently clinically depressed when I'm ill, which I don't think is surprising really, because I'm so severely ill. My borderline and my PTSD. So I'm going to try and explain a little bit to you about that. I might go off the questions I've had as kind of prompts. But yeah, please like, subscribe, comment. If there's anything at all that you want to know, please let me know so that I can talk about it in another video. But I've just had a few today, so I thought I'd start off with that. So the one that I had was on Facebook, and the worst and best parts of BPD. I don't think there are any best parts. The only thing I will say is that some people say that people with BPD aren't empathetic. I am, and I think that the fact that my emotions are all over the place is because, like, I care too much. So I think that I'm quite a caring person, and in my own way of what I know is love, because I don't know what love really is. Like, I love people so deeply, and that can be a really, really good thing, because it means that I care so much for my family and so much for my friends who do make an effort to be in my life when I'm poorly, because there's not many of them that do. Yeah, so I'd say that's the best part. The worst part is that, again, like, I don't know whether it's the emotionally unstable bit or the anger, because the anger is so uncontrollable. I mean, I'm a lot better now than I was, but I think part of that is because I don't drink that much anymore. But I don't know, the downs are so horrific. The downs are just awful, which I can really say over the last couple of days I've experienced. But then the highs, the thing that really gets to me is that when I feel the version of manic that you get with BPD, so the highs, I'm usually getting that the most when I'm at the most ill. So I can't get out of bed and I can't do what my mind is telling me to do. So that is really, really frustrating, because, I mean, it's like your mind's telling you to do one thing but your body isn't letting you. I'd actually say that might be the worst, along with the downs. It's the highs and the lows are just the worst. The next, due to manage symptoms. If anyone else has got that answer, then please let me know. The thing is, I think the thing that I just kind of give in to what my mind's telling me it needs. If I need to be in bed, I need to be in bed. And I mean, I think that has been important with, I mean, it's not just been my physical health that's made it so that I can't really work. My mental health obviously contributes as well now. And now I can give in to what my body or my mind needs. So that is the only thing that I can really suggest. I also write every day in my journal that I talked about in my favourites. And that is to try and let me end the day on a positive note instead of a negative one. It hasn't really been helping recently in the kind of scheme of night terrors and sleep paralysis, but I don't know, that's just been something I've been really struggling with recently. If anyone else has any idea to managing the symptoms of BPD, then please let me know, because it's a process, and I'm not having DBT, so, which is fantastic. So if someone can help, then please let me know. What are my favourite methods of relaxing, creating a safe environment? My room is my safe environment. Since I moved back home nearly 2 years ago, me and my parents have made my room so that it's so me. Because obviously it's a big deal leaving this house that you've made for yourself. That house was all me, you know, it wasn't my ex, it was me. It had my personality in it. And to come home and only have a room that you can do that with, and have so much stuff that you can't fit into your room, it's taken a lot of work. But now, like, I've got all this stuff that's made, like I've got my owl lamp, I've got my throws on my bed that I just sleep under most of the time now because it's too hot to get under my duvet, all my candles, my fairy lights and just things like that. I mean, I've got like a big heart cushion. I'll get it. It is my baby. It was from New Look, and it's like one of the best things that I've bought, because I'll sit with it, I will sleep with it, like sleep against it like a body, but rest my head on it as well. That makes me feel really, really safe. I'll wear a nightie that makes me feel safe. Having my dog with me makes me feel safe. Just like things like that. Vanilla scents, vanilla candles. Everyone's got their preference when it comes to candles. I like vanilla scents so much. They've got to be a certain kind of vanilla though, like vanilla cupcake from Yankee Candle, the vanilla one that M&S do. Yeah, but it can't be too overly sweet, but that also helps me to feel safe. Yeah, so I think I've answered that as well as I can. I'm going to go on to Twitter. Coping mechanisms. Like I say, I don't really have any good ones at the moment. But one thing I will say is that I do think about my family, because I don't want to relapse really badly, because it will hurt my family so much, and they've had enough to deal with. They've seen me go down that road so many times before, and that kind of helped. I know that won't work for everyone, because I think the only reason that works for me now a bit is because I'm in a better place than I was 5 years ago, 7, 8 years ago. But that does help me. Do I have anything which I do to relax and chill out when I'm feeling particularly anxious? So, like, one thing that I will do, music. And I've only rediscovered this again recently, which is so stupid, because as a teenager, music was so important to me. And I would be listening to music on the way to school, listening to it in bed at night with my headphones in. I'd watch music TV, I wouldn't watch anything else. But yeah, music makes me feel safe. So things like Demi Lovato, Years and Years, 1975, Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran just takes me back to when I started recovering properly as a younger person. So yeah, like, music makes me chill out. Candles. When I used to have incense, I don't really anymore because my parents don't really like it. Just completely clearing my head. Not clearing my head because I can never properly clear my head, but being in that safe place and having the things that make me feel safe around me. Face masks as well. That sounds really stupid and shallow, but having a nice face mask on makes me feel better. Doing my skincare, which sometimes I can't do because I'm in too much pain. Doing makeup makes me feel so happy, except for today because I had to redo it 4 times because it went so wrong. But yeah, I think it's about finding what you truly love, find some good music that makes you feel better and that you can fully immerse yourself in. Make your room or your home a really safe space. Fill it with things that are you and that make you feel really good. You know, it's just about things like that. There's nothing that's going to cure anxiety or cure depression. You know, there aren't things that do that. Things happen with time, but you can make it easier to manage by doing nice things like that. And the other question I had, when did you first realise you had mental health issues? I always knew that there was something that wasn't right. I was very anxious from being about 5 or 6 because I was living in a bad atmosphere where I am now. So I was very anxious, but then I was so depressed as a young person, like in primary school, and I kind of didn't realise that everyone else didn't feel that way. I just thought it was normal because it was all that I knew, but I know that my parents didn't think it was normal and they didn't know why. And I remember when I was about 10, 11, looking at the other girls and thinking, why am I not as thin as them? Why do my legs not look like theirs? When in reality, I was really tall and lanky at that age. I'm not now. I stopped growing back then, but I was one of the tallest and I was quite slim. But I just developed before other people, you know. So yeah, I don't think I really realised properly until I went to secondary school, because my brother died just when I started secondary school, but I didn't find out until quite a bit after. And that's when I kind of lost my shit a bit. That's when I started self-harming. And I mean, you wouldn't think it now because I haven't done that for years, but it was horrendous. It was just awful. I was an absolute mess for years, really, on and off. There were times where I was good and I had good friends. There were some really nice people who I went to secondary school with who were good. And I mean, I've still got my best friend now, who I was there with, who's amazing. And I don't regret having problems or anything, because maybe I wouldn't have ended up being so close to her, and she is just a wonderful person. But yeah, and I was quite badly bullied, and I think part of that was because I was so emotionally unstable that I was kind of looked at as crazy, and that wasn't the case, you know. Nobody had any idea what I had been through. Nobody knew that I'd had something so bad happen to me as such a young person. I didn't even properly realise then, you know. I think when I started being properly bulimic, I knew that I had something wrong with me as well, because I knew that wasn't right, but it was my way of controlling things, because everything in my life felt so out of control that was my grip on everything. And it was around that time I started drinking a lot more and smoking, which was so weird for everyone because I was so academically intelligent that everyone just thought, why is she throwing that away? I didn't. I still got really good results at the end of GCSEs, but I did leave after that because I couldn't have coped with staying in that environment. It was just bad, and there were so many people who were vile. Like, people now that preach about being nice, and they were absolutely vile to me. I went to college and I struggled. There's a fly in my room and I'm so annoyed. They're literally just going all over the house and I can't stand them. I want to feed them to my plants. Yeah, when I miscarried the first time and stuff, like, everything. It just got a lot worse. So I've gone on a ramble, but I think that I really realised that I had something wrong with me when I was about 14, I'd say, when I started getting flashbacks. It was just a horrible time, but it doesn't have to mean that that's the end of everything and that that's the end of your life. You can't go and achieve anything or do anything. I mean, it is hard, and I'm not going to lie about that. Like, I'm in a really bad place right now, but it doesn't mean that you can't do anything. Are you Yogi? Hello, Yogi. Yogi makes me feel better all the time. Yeah, so I think that's that question answered. I was going to tell you about how I coped, but I think I've kind of answered that. writing is a really good outlet for me. It's always been like that ever since I was like 7. I've always been a writer more than I've been somebody who wanted to go on camera and perform and stuff. Singing at the top of my voice when there's no one in. Having a bath, quite a cold bath because I'm always so bloody hot. Yeah, you know, it's all about working out what works for you. It's trial and error. There's some good, if you've got a TV show that you really like as well, or a film, that's always good. I do, like, there's certain things that I love. I love Friends, I love Gossip Girl, Riverdale, stuff like that, but I'm just more music at the moment. When I'm really, really bad, it's all about the music for me. But yeah, if you have any more questions about mental health, then leave them down below or ask me on social media. If you want to see anything about chronic illness or my pain or anything, then, because obviously that's such a huge factor with my mental health as well, then please leave that below, let me know. Yeah, any other ideas, then let me know down below as well. It was really nice talking to you again. Thank you for coming back or coming for the first time. Remember to please like, subscribe, turn notifications on. Thank you. Yeah, so I'll see you again soon. Hopefully I'll be feeling a little bit better then. I'm not somebody to lie though. I'm never going to sit here and pretend that I'm okay when I'm not, because you need to see who I really am. Yeah, so thank you for coming, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.